to punch our ticket to Oklahoma City in an OU uniform. The sophomore with 18 games started already this season and a 2.92 ERA.
Had a heck of a weekend in regional play. Has been so good in the circle for this squad. He mentioned the experience at the Women's College World Series. Ole Miss last year, a transfer coming in for Oklahoma. Looking a lot of east to west in the zone. Has great late breaking movement.
And the first batter she will face in this Mississippi starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One, is Morgan Stiles. But you've got to keep your eye on the three-hole hitter, Nadia Barbary, a four-year starter, all-SEC, second team, an offensive leader as well, pacing the way with 40 RBI this season. Stiles leads it off with an opposite field base hit to right field. Now, this is a Mississippi State team making their second ever super regional appearance, 2 times in the last 5 years under former Sooner great Samantha Ricketts. Greta Grassel now standing in at the plate, a sophomore from Wisconsin. Swings and commits there. And strike one. She hit that 2-run homer versus Oregon last weekend, and she has come up clutch in all types of moments for the Bulldogs this season. They say she went around so quickly, down in the count, 0-2. And hits it back to Wachenio, gets a glove on it, the flip from Agbayani, but not in time as Grassel is able to beat it out. So first 2 base runners aboard to start this game for Mississippi State.
This is uncharacteristic too from Oklahoma, off the glove. Typically pitchers at Oklahoma pride themselves on fielding that position. Wachenio having to be quick off the mound. Agbayani trying to come up with the play behind her, and a quick and early opportunity here from Mississippi State. Keep in mind, this is a staff too, Tiffany. Only gave up 6 hits in 3 games during regionals. Coach Gasso feeling like pitching was the star of the show in regional play.
Indeed, they only allowed 1 run in the process of last weekend as well. Nadia Barbary, the player who we highlighted in the lineup, is now standing in. The RBI leader with 40 on the season for the Bulldogs has a chance to put Mississippi State on the board first. Fooled by that one. Now 1-1 count to Barbary. Senior out of Douglasville, Georgia. He's come up with 6 career RBI in the NCAA tournament throughout her career, and now trailing 1-2. So Morgan Stiles standing at second base after the leadoff single. Greta Grassel at first on the error from Wachenio.
A lifelong Bulldog in Barbary. Senior, and really has taken control of the power. I mean, look at the power numbers over the course of her career. First 2 seasons at Mississippi State, 4 home runs apiece. She's at 14 home runs in her senior campaign.
Count even, 2 apiece. The pitch. Barbary lifts this one into foul territory along the left field line, and Cassidy Pickering is there for the first out of the inning. Pickering, one of those very familiar faces for this Sooner team. He's part of an outfield with Pickering, Kai Minor, and Ella Parker from left to right. Now Zion Romero, first pitch swinging, and Sydney Barker with a double play. Steps on the bag at third, the toss over to first, and that ends the inning by a Mississippi State pitcher. The first no-hitter In postseason play, Alyssa Faircloth gets ready to go once again. And the junior stands in, and she comes in from the left side. Her scouting report is such here, Aaron.
You're going to see really a mix of 3 dominant pitches. The changeup is nasty, the curveball is nasty, and the rise ball up in the zone is just filthy. I mean, truly, the dominance in those 3 pitches is what has allowed her to be as successful as she's been this season.
Kai Miner leads it off, was 5 of 11 last weekend in regional play. Had 2 home runs in the process. We talked about it in the open. The solid, elite level hitters in this Oklahoma lineup. As you take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Capital One. Chopper over to second base, and Romero can't handle it. Kai Miner is aboard. The leadoff batter in this lineup for the Sooners is one of the best in the country.
This is a bat that didn't move to the leadoff position until early April. Since stepping into the leadoff role, she looked at Coach Gasso and said, "Do not dare move me at any other place in the lineup." The money at the top of this order for Oklahoma, 17 stolen bases on the year.
And Ella Parker now at the plate, coming in from the left side, the junior, first team All-SEC selection. And with 2 in that junior class, part of the last national championship team for OU. We just talk about the numbers and the batting average, coming in at .410. Kai Miner ready to get scooting from first base. That one coming in there for a strike. So now the count 2-1 to Ella Parker. And this one gets past Des Revere behind the plate. And Miner now moving into scoring position for Parker.
Both Faircloth and this defense trying to settle in against an Oklahoma team.
And after the pass ball, the pitch from Faircloth, low in the dirt. So the error to start this inning to Miner, and then the walk to Ella Parker. And Samantha Ricketts, very familiar with this OU program, hoping her team can do something that has not been done this season, and trying to take down Oklahoma in 2 games in order to make it to the Women's College World Series. Former player for Patty Gasso. You look at that, I mean, she is just coaching royalty. 16th straight super regional appearance, 8 national championships, all to her credit. And again, continuing to reload year after year as Kendall Wells is at the plate. And she's looking dead on, with Kai Miner and Wells being named this week as a top 3 finalist for the NCAA Freshman of the Year.
Two back-to-back off speeds from Faircloth, facing one of the most dangerous and feared bats in our game right now. We'd asked Faircloth, what's the approach here? How do you prep to face a team like Oklahoma?
And that one ripped through the 5-6 hole, and now that loads the bases after the single from Kendall Wells. So yeah, I'm curious, how will she?
Well, a very interesting and unconventional answer that we got, Tiffany. No film watch. She said, I'm not one of those that wants to overanalyze what I'm going to face. Garrett Bowen-McKinney, pitching coach here at Mississippi State, coming out to have a word. She said, I am essentially a puppet from my pitching coach. You call a pitch, and I'm going to throw it there. I don't want to think too much. My brain has to be turned off in the circle. So no real prep here, other than just shooting and firing. Where do you want me to throw the ball? That's exactly where I'm going to execute.
Well, she's been successful this season, right? 16 wins coming into today's game, transferring in from Troy a season ago. She was an all Sun Belt selection. but she has proven week in and week out, especially in the SEC, that she belongs and that she can pitch at this level. Right now, though, she finds herself in a bit of a pickle to lead off bottom of the first.
Opening it up for Gabby Garcia has been a stud, a sophomore from the left side, 22 home runs on the year. He's just a gauntlet of power. Think about this, the starting nine for Oklahoma down to the 7-hole all have double-digit home runs. It's nuts to see the numbers that this team puts up.
Garcia, one of three, as you mentioned, with 20-plus. You look at her numbers from last weekend's regional. She was insane. Hit 714 with 5 hits and 5 RBI in 3 games. And that says it right there. 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. I mean, it's crazy. And that one barely left the hand of Faircloth.
A mispitch there from Faircloth.
She regroups, gathers, and delivers. That one low to Gabby Garcia, the sophomore out of Chandler, Arizona, who is 7 of 15 this season with the bases loaded.
Scouting this matchup, the interesting part of this, again, is the arsenal that you see from Faircloth. Virtually equal in thirds between rise, change, and curve. And the numbers that OU puts up against those pitches.
That one ripped to first base, the play made, and how about the double play turn, and the defense doing an amazing job. Credit Paige Ernstez with turning that double play.
The stellar defense from both of these teams coming into the first inning. A huge exhale from Mississippi State. The double play, Ernstez at first knows exactly where she is going to go with this ball. Heads up, high IQ defense. The Dogs.
That's the first double play turn of the postseason by the Bulldogs. And now runners at second and third. And Isabella Emmerling now at the plate.
We haven't seen Faircloth go to that rise ball as much. I think I can kind of put together why. You know, typically you see Faircloth spin the ball up in the zone, but against Oklahoma, the interesting contrast, the most home runs they've hit off rise balls, 45 and 24 on rise and change, but they've also struck out 60 times on change-ups and rise balls. Those are the 2 best pitches coming from Faircloth. She has to place them perfectly.
And unable to do so, second walk of the inning. Bases juiced once more. And Cassidy Pickering, one of the fan favorites here, finds OU with another opportunity to hang a run.
Oklahoma drew 11 walks last weekend in 3 games. Sharp eye at the plate.
Well, 2 of the 3 hits last weekend in round 2, another regional championship for Pickering and the Sooners. Cassidy hit 2 home runs. And she's 1 shy of that 20 mark that we talked about. But more importantly, Oklahoma hopeful to not get a run. Faircloth on the other side looking to get out of the inning without giving up a run. Good look there at Samantha Ricketts, 7th season with this Mississippi State program.
Wow, Faircloth still trying to find that strike zone. I mean, she has challenged low, she's challenged the corner. You saw the off speed for ball 2 at the letters and didn't get the call either.
So now the 3-1 pitch to Pickering. I got it there for a strike. Count draws full. A big moment early on for Alyssa Faircloth. The pitch. And got her swinging the changeup there to fool Pickering and get out of the inning without giving up a run. And St. Ricketts told us, look, she said it in the past, in order for us to get to a championship level, you've got to play big-time programs like Oklahoma with 8 titles.
You want to be the best, you got to play the best.
No doubt.
That's exactly right.
But her group coming in, having a rocky road through the SEC, but that pitching really helped to lift them in big moments as Kiara Sells grounds out to shortstop. And she talked about what we needed to do to ramp up, to make a deep run, pitching. And they got that, not only in Alyssa Faircloth, but tapping the transfer portal, going with Layla Amen and Peja Gould.
These two teams may not have faced each other through SEC play this year, but this is two squads that have gone against each other. Back when Oklahoma was in the Big 12, Coach Sam Ricketts saying, look, we were not scared to play OU. We would purposely put them on the schedule if that meant traveling down to Norman. We wanted to find a way to play this team.
Kimberly Keller, the freshman center fielder, fouls that one back quickly down 0-2. And we remember we were in Starkville for that super regional run that they had in 2022, their first ever. In that same year, Oklahoma came to News Park to try to create that atmosphere, that postseason atmosphere when they hosted the Sooners.
Just the Sam Ricketts effects of this program. 7th season as head coach, 12 total years at Mississippi State. She's got that contract extension through 2028. I mentioned the first NCAA Super. They beat FSU to host Arizona at home. I mean, just an epic run so far for Coach Ricketts.
Chenyo readies the 2-2 pitch to Keller. And Keller is able to get that one fair past a diving Sydney Barker at third base and a stand-up double to lead it up, or rather with one out here in the second. And there will be some potential question here as to whether it was a double or not. Coaches do have 2 challenges apiece. Will Patty Gasso elect to challenge here?
Looks like she is. She's going to take a look at this. I'll tell you, from the booth up here, it looked fair. It looked like it was on the right side of the chalk line.
First challenge, they have 1 remaining.
So 1 remaining challenge for the Sooners as they were unsuccessful in the challenge. Meanwhile, 9th double this season for the freshman, Kimberly Keller. So she's in scoring position with Tatum Silva coming up to the plate. A chance to knock her in potentially. We talked about last weekend, Aaron, just 6 hits allowed in total against this OU pitching staff. The leadoff single to start the game with Morgan Stiles, and then just the second extra base hit by an OU opponent in this postseason with that Keller double.
Silva was with only 17 starts on the year. This is some of those calls, I think, for coaches where when you have a bat that gets hot at the right time of the year, you got to go with the hot bat. Silva being one of those 51 appearances throughout the season, but not a lot of starts, and she gets the call here on a massive stage.
Will you ride the hot hand, the hot bat, and who's playing well? You tinker with whatever you need to in the lineup, and Tatum Silva has a grand opportunity here, to your point, Aaron, as one of the 6 transfers that have come into this program, moving in from Utah State.
pitching staff in prep for Mississippi State. It was all about managing and stopping momentum, having to keep the ball in the park and feeding the defense behind these arms. Big focus for them in regionals, limiting the free passes. They only walked one hitter all weekend long, 3 outings. One free bag awarded.
First full count for Machenia. The payoff, Silva fouls it off. There's Jim Rocha. Outstanding pitching coach, and you see the job that her pitching staff did during the regional play, the importance of just her expertise in the dugout. And you think last year there was primarily Sam Landry as the arm that she had to work with, but now multiple arms in the circle. And the strikeout looking for Wachenio as Silva goes down. Number 2.
Wachenio's starting to settle in. This is a breaking ball low and away from Silva. Barely clips the lower half of that strike zone. I think both of these arms, too, trying to figure out what they can get away with, settling into the edges of that river. Wachenio getting the punch out.
Paige Ernstes, who turned that double play well out in front of that one. She helped Alyssa Fairclough get out of that jam last inning. And the little dribbler back to Wachenio. The bounce and save, pulling Emily off the bag. As Wachenio bounced it over to first. So a couple of fielding miscues for Wachenio early in this game.
It's a dribbler right off the end of the bat. Moves the string, and Wachenio coming up with a 1-hop. Interesting, I thought initially on that glove that the back foot was on the back, but it was almost the replant that I think he caught the bull's eye.
So second error by Wachenio in the circle. Another look here as, I don't know, Emmerling, who had to recover at first, she gets the ball off and then gets back on, and it looks like in enough time.
I agree.
Does Gasso expend her second challenge? Which would be, well, she has 1 remaining. Will she use it here?
I think she will.
Times, and they have won 8 national championships in the process of that. They're seeking their 19th appearance in a field that is wide open this season. OU has a good of chance as any as Lexi McDaniel slaps that one in to right field and flies out for the first of the inning. Alyssa Fairclough, who was able to get out of the first inning without giving up a run to the nation's leader in terms of runs per game. This OU offense averaging better than 10 runs a game. They left the bases loaded, and credit Fairclough and this state defense for taking care of business.
There's some speed in Agbayani, 13 stolen bases. She leads this team in bunts, too. 16 on the year, a true triple threat. Stud on defense as well for Oklahoma. Rawlings, Golden Glove winner. Second program history, along with Grace Lyons.
And the senior from Hawaii, you see that number 50? It's the 50th state. Her father, obviously, very well known as well. Benny Agbayani played in the major leagues. And Ailana Agbayani has made her mark here. You think back to last weekend, she was hitting it up like Dad used to do it when he was in the majors. He too wore the number 50 as well. She was 4 of 7 during that regional round, but Dad's got to be proud of the production and the career that she has had.
Got some similar leg kicks. I like that big load on the front side.
And caught looking is Agbayani as she goes down. With this pitching staff, one of the best in the SEC, and this is what Faircloth is used to doing.
This is one of the best changeups in the SEC. Almost 60% whiff rate on that pitch. Well, she didn't even take the barrel off the shoulder. Watches this one go by. It's a second strikeout for Faircloth. Both strikeouts coming by way of changeup.
And that was a 3-0 count to start to Agbayani, and Faircloth worked her way back into that one. Now the 9-hole hitter in the sophomore, Sydney Barker, standing in. I mentioned this pitching staff for Mississippi State, number 3 in the SEC in ERA, 6th nationally, allowing just better than 2 runs a game. Faircloth trying to keep the mojo cooking from last weekend after a no-hitter, the first ever by a Mississippi State pitcher in the postseason. Parker asking for time. The third baseman steps back in for the Sooners. She's got a 3-1 count. And that one over to Styles at short in the 6-3 put out. 3 up, 3 down for Faircloth in the second. Rams lopsided in favor of Oklahoma, who leads the way. In fact, they won last season's series by a margin of 19-11. And despite not meeting during the regular season this year, they have met OU every year since 2021, and a big part of that prior to them being conference mates. Samantha Ricketts, a former OU All-American here, made a point to make sure that she faced off against her alma mater to sharpen her program as she continues to build in Starkville. First 40-win season since 2008.
With a win for Sam Ricketts this weekend, would be the first player turned head coach for Coach Patty Gasso to beat Oklahoma. It'd be a feat, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Indeed. Would also be a first super regional win for the Bulldogs. But think about Patty Gasso and just the impact that she has made on the sport of softball. Her coaching tree is just so rich.
Mention the love between these two. Coach Gasso really went in depth with you and I about the pride and how much she just adores Sam Ricketts, what she's done for Mississippi State, this program, the impact that she has had. Major.
The 1-2 to Gressel, and Wachenio gets her swinging. So second strikeout of the ball game for Miley Wachenio.
Wachenio's still trying to settle into this strike zone. We've seen frustration for both of these arms. This one starting at the knee, a drop ball that breaks low and away, falls off the table for the swing through of Gressel.
Nadia Barbary, who flied out to left her first time up.
It's been a topic of conversation. You and I noticed that last weekend. You know, I think it's easy for you and I to see just kind of in the silo of the site and the ball games that we're calling, but honestly, across all 16 sites, a lot of talk about the strike zone.
And as a hitter, you've got to love it, right? It moves up a little bit, makes things a little bit more juicier for you, but as a pitcher, it's rather difficult.
Been an offensive heavy game all year, and for pitchers just trying to find some type of leg up through the strike zone.
You just try to dance around it until you figure out what's going to be called. Mike Burwell behind the plate.
This this is the challenge too, Coach Ricketts said for this offense, is she said, I feel like we're just a little too passive at times at the plate and needs this squad to be more aggressive, especially early in counts.
Cyan Romero, who bounced into that double play back in the first to end the inning, and the threat for the Bulldogs. It was also the first double play turned by this OU defense this postseason. Two balls and no strikes to Romero. Sophomore out of Lake Elsinore, California, awaits the pitch. Another 3-ball count for Miley Huachenio, and Jen Rocha is going to make a trip to the circle.
It felt like a matter of time. Could see a little bit of frustration in the dugout, the mouth of the dugout, where pitching coach and associate head Jen Rocha watching on. I've been just kind of observing her in the OU dugout, and some frustration right now, especially with strikes early. This is a pitching staff that we talked to about, you know, what are things that you guys track? What are some things that you guys focus on? And one of the immediate answers was first pitch strikes. We want to track pitch number 1 and specifically pitch number 3. Conversion counts. That third pitch and that first pitch, very important for Oklahoma. And we have seen Miley Huachenio get caught from behind, digging herself in a hole here quite a bit early in this ballgame.
It's interesting you say that. For our viewers at home, obviously getting that first pitch strike, very important. But why would the third pitch be so important? Why do they care about that?
You see either the 0-1, the 1-0, the 1-1. It's the next pitch that determines, is this a pitcher's count or is this a hitter's count? Because hitting in a 1-2 count versus a 2-1 count feels very different when you are standing in the box or standing on the rubber. Huachenio 6 for 13 right now for first pitch strikes, so just over 50%. And they want to see those numbers upwards of 70.
You saw the activity in the Oklahoma bullpen. A couple of arms getting ready if needed. Huachenio, as we mentioned already, a freshman All-American, helped lead the Rebels of Ole Miss to their first ever Women's College World Series appearance, and now has registered 15 wins with the Oklahoma Sooners this season. Working her way back in the count. The payoff. Romero fouls it off.
Not a ton of speed with Barbary on first base, only 1 stolen base on the year. So for Oklahoma's defense, feeding this infield for Huachenio, opportunity to roll up a double play. You see them playing behind the base paths, giving themselves room.
That one inside and called for ball 4, and Romero trots to first base with the second walk of the game. Another look at the pitch.
Take a look at this location. I mean, to me, this vantage point looks like it maybe clips that front corner. She throws that late breaking screw under the hands for righties. I'm sure you heard the stadium. A lot of reaction there on that ball 4 call.
Mississippi State now with 2 runners aboard for Kira Sells. Sells first pitch swinging. She grounded out to shortstop her last time up, and Kendall Wells is feeling the effects of that foul ball as Coach Gasso goes to check on her transformational freshman. Wells holding and attending to that left hand.
I'm not seeing a big contact there from the foul ball. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, the backswing, it is. top of that bat on the backswing of Sells, hitting the top of her hand.
She immediately went to grab that left hand and pull off the glove. And she appears to be okay. We always talk about the toughness, and #1 toughness on that softball diamond goes to the catcher, Kendall Wells, who has created some amazing moments here this season in her freshman year at the plate standing in. Now behind the plate, also really tough as well. We mentioned Freshman of the Year finalists, along with her teammate Kai Minor. That one pulled down the left field line and foul. Now 0-2 count to Kira Sells. Remember last inning, there was a bases loaded situation, and that's how the Bulldogs left it. 0 for 5 so far in the early going, with runners in scoring position today for State. This one foul once again. This is a player who has just really developed in her role in Kira Sells. We talked about it, entered the season with just 13 at-bats. Now has been a part of the starting rotation. First strike, or first ball rather, to the senior from Jasper, Texas.
It's an interesting matchup too. Wachenio's so good low in the zone, and that is one of the best pitches that Sells hits. She smashes balls at the knees.
And you hear the fans at Love's Field getting really antsy with this strike zone. 23 balls.
As she exchanged looks with Kinley Keller, she knew that that was a strike. And oddly enough, this is in her wheelhouse. I mentioned she smashes balls low in the strike zone. A heat map just red hot there for Sells.
And Kinley Keller back up to the plate. Remember, she pulled a double down the left field line her first time up. It was a hit that was challenged by Patty Gasso. She was unsuccessful in the challenge. So the 9th double for Kinley Keller, and now she's back up to the plate second time around.
Been red hot during the postseason. Keller reaching every single game on base during the 2026 postseason this run. 4 doubles, 2 walks. As hot as it gets at the plate here for Mississippi State.
And this one hits Keller, so the hit by pitch loads the bases for the 2nd straight inning for the Bulldogs.
Take a look out, it's the top of the hand. I definitely wanted to get a look at that because you and I have seen, especially this postseason, hitting off the knob of the bat. We've seen players get called back into the batter's box, but that one very clearly on the top of that bottom hand.
So State having success getting to Wachenio early in this game. Last inning, they left the bases loaded. This inning, they've got the bases jacked here, and Tatum Silva, who struck out looking her first time up, can try to produce the first run of this game.
Second time that Mississippi State has had bases loaded against Wachenio. And thinking about how this has developed defensively for them, already had 2 errors this game, 3 free passes, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch. I mean, it feels like the Bulldogs are a swing away, right? 1 swing away, 1 moment away, 1 hit away busting this game open.
You gotta love these opportunities for Sam Rickett's team, understanding that they're going against the top offense in the country. So you want to try to grab your runs while you can against the Sooners. And right back to Wachenio, who deflects it, the roller. Everybody's safe, and a run scores from Mississippi State as they're on the board. First time this postseason that the Sooners have trailed, and a 1-0 advantage for Mississippi State.
A reminder, this is a bat in Silva that's only started 17 games this year, but she gets the call on a big stage off the tip of the glove from Wachenio. It's the third time we have seen her have to try and field that position. We saw the fielding error for Wachenio in the first, the throwing error for her in the second, and they're going to rule that one as single.
So the 10th RBI this season for Tatum Silva, and a 1-0 advantage with Paige Ernstez now at the plate for the Bulldogs to potentially tack on more. Coming in charging, Gabby Garcia, an excellent shortstop, gets the put out at first. 7 left on base for State, but for OU that have Mississippi State believing right now, one of the 3 unseeded teams remaining in the Super Regional round, and right now they have a 1-0 lead over the 3-seed Oklahoma Sooners.
Faircloth only given up 1 hit, first time through this order. And you think back to the first inning. Bases loaded situation, defense got out with that double play. I mean, she's responded since that first inning.
Kai Minor slaps this one deep but foul down the right field line. And my question to you, Aaron, is, well, what happens now the second time around in this OU lineup? What does Faircloth need to do?
You have to have an answer for the off-speed. 2 strikeouts she's had against Oklahoma, both of those coming on an off-speed pitch. You can't be split between speeds, and you can't be split between game plans. Pick a pitch, pick a speed, and commit. That was something that you and I talked to Coach Gasso about, the prep in the arms that they were going to face, and she said there's a fine line here. Fine line between prepping for a test and over-preparing for a test where you second-guess your game. You second-guess your own trust factor. Off-speed just low. I agree with that. I mean, I can remember prepping for teams, especially at this point in the season when your whole year's on the line. You want to have the proper information, you want to have the proper data, but it can eclipse your talent.
And second time that Kai Minor has been aboard. She reached on an error back in the first, and now the walk awarded to Minor to lead off bottom 3.
Facing Ella Parker too, 20 home runs, 22 home runs on the year, and described as one of the best true, pure, natural hitters that Patty Gasso's ever coached.
First team All-SEC selection, All-American last year. And Ella Parker. See that batting average north of 400. That one coming inside and low for ball 2. This lefty v lefty matchup here. Did she commit? No, says Kayla Young at third base. A 3-ball, no strike count to Ella Parker as the sun shining bright here on Love's Field.
Reminder too about just the reps that this team has had against lefty arms coming into today. Oklahoma had only had 268 at-bats against lefties, compared to over 1,300 at-bats against righty arms.
Parker smiling that one off. And a great atmosphere here on this Friday afternoon. from Norman. Fouled off once more.
The challenge being keeping the ball in the park, right? That was something that Faircloth had mentioned, is just splitting the plate, trying to find those corners, keep the ball in an area that the defense can make plays. Lefties only giving up 24 home runs against Oklahoma compared to 158 bombs coming out of the hand of righty arms.
That one lifted into the outfield. Calling for it is Tatum Silva. And Parker is retired. The Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, May 28th at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. We mentioned Tennessee was in action yesterday. They got a 3-1 win over Georgia. We saw the game suspended as Kendall Wells hits this ball deep out of the park into center field. Home run number 38 for the freshman Kendall Wells, and it gives OU the 2-1 lead.
Of the season for a top 3 finalist for National Freshman of the Year. A no-doubter. She knew it off the bat, and the importance of that free pass, the walk from Kai Minor to set the table for this swing. And all of a sudden, one shot. Oklahoma's got the lead.
What a phenomenal season it's been for Kendall Wells, and you talked about the committed swing. Kai Minor, her teammate, also in the running, as you mentioned, for that National Freshman of the Year finalists, and celebrating she was for the 601 run this season scored by the Sooners. And Kendall Wells, who is the light of the dugout, a ton of fun, an amazing teammate, we're told, and just a freshman. She's already got so many things cooking here since stepping foot in Norman.
Described as the class clown of this team.
To go along with all of her amazing accolades, right? Freshman of the Year in the SEC, freshman single season record for home runs, and for OU, and for SEC. I mean, she's just eclipsed and surpassed milestone after milestone since putting on an OU uniform. And now in game 60 of her, now what doesn't feel like a freshman campaign, home run 38. The 1-2 pitch to Gabby Garcia, who puts that one through the infield, and a single for Gabby Garcia. We talked about how hot she was last weekend, leading this team during regional play.
It's a different energy from Oklahoma. Second time through the order, managing the strike zone. Mentioned the importance of that walk from Kai Minor in the leadoff. And Kendall Wells, that just her second home run through the month of May. Been a very quiet latter half regular season play.
The chopper, State trying to pull the double play, and they're going to say it's a foul ball, so Isabella Emmerling will come back to the plate. Emmerling, who walked her first time up, a fifth-year senior out of Martinez, California, who's really just seen her numbers jump since entering the program. You go from last year to this year, plus 200 to hit 405 so far this season.
An interesting evolution too for her. Came in as a catcher, played a lot for this team last season behind the plate, and really had to shift her role with Kendall Wells incoming this year.
And Emmerling, line drive, home run shot, second of the inning for the Sooners. A 4-1 lead for OU. How about it? Home run number 20, the fourth Sooner to hit 20 or more bombs this season.
That's just bonkers. 4 of the starting 9 hitting over 20 jacks this year is truly unbelievable. This didn't just get out. This was a frozen rope to the deepest part of the field. Look at that. Got out in a hurry. She knew it. 20th of the season. You mentioned the power numbers. She's doubled her average this year. Just truly the confidence at the plate in year 2 here for Oklahoma, a transfer that has settled in so nicely.
And we asked this question, Aaron, what was Alyssa Faircloth going to do the second time around this order facing these Sooners batters? And I'll tell you, Oklahoma hitters have certainly adjusted. After going 1 for 7 the first time through, 3 hits, 2 of them via the home run, and a 3-run advantage here in the bottom of the 3rd.
This is a squad that studied up for this test. I mean, being here yesterday with you, Tiffany, coming in, doing interviews, this is a squad that spent over an hour watching film. We had a chance to talk to Abby Dayton about the prep for Mississippi State. She said it's about discipline. We've got to hold on to momentum, and that comes with not swinging at balls out of the strike zone, making sure that we are zoning in pitches to what we can handle. And I think they've done a nice job second time through this order.
We led off the broadcast talking about the numbers offensively for Oklahoma, leading the nation in average, leading the nation in run, and only second in home runs this season to UCLA. The grand total now, 184 jacks for these Sooners hitters. And a great look there at just how the lineup always puts pressure on. Speaking of pressure, trying to bring that pressure is Cassidy Pickering, and she does. A solo blast into center field, 3rd of the inning, and she now brings in number 20.
Clock it to 5 of the starting 9 over 20 home runs. You're going to see head coach Taryn McKinney.
The circle, Layla Amon, the sophomore out of Gulf Breeze, Florida, transferred into this program from Middle Tennessee State, and 18 appearances on the season. She's been undefeated when starts this circle in the circle. And looking at the scouting report for Amon coming from the right side.
Yeah, she attacks the zone really well. I'm interested to see how she manages that with the aggressiveness of Oklahoma early in counts. But again, it's the off speed for her that continues to be devastating, and OU will have to have a response to the change of speed.
Well, Abby Dayton, player you mentioned we had the opportunity to talk to yesterday, is pinch hitting now. Dayton is one of those great players to gauge what a pitcher is throwing. The senior out of Riverside, California, who's having her best offensive season of her career, is also one of the toughest outs in college softball. Only 8 strikeouts and 121 at-bats coming in. One out, bases clear. The 2-0 pitch to Dayton. in for strike one.
Amen. I think you have to approach this as a fresh start. Right? You got nobody on. You got a pinch hitter that you're facing. First at bat of the game. You got to do your best just to compartmentalize a bit. Get an out on the board.
She, along with Faircloth, Gould on the staff as well, all have thrown for no-hitters this season. She's going to hope for a no-hitting performance in her relief for Faircloth here.
Is the off-speed low in the zone. Dayton giving chase to that pitch.
And Abby Dayton, who's just been a ray of light since being a part of this Oklahoma program. Now with the count full. And grounds it over to second base, and now 2 away. Well, folks, remember Patty Gasso saw her team leave the bases loaded back in the first, a 1-2-3 inning in the second, and this inning started with a walk to Kai Minor, who came around to score on that Kendall Wells home run. That home run hitting was contagious because we have seen 3 home runs this inning to chase one of the great arms for the Mississippi State staff, Alyssa Faircloth, out of the game. The junior, her work over 2 1/3 inning, gave up 5 hits as that one hit hard, deep, but foul. Faircloth, the SEC newcomer of the year. First time she had the opportunity to face Oklahoma this season. As we mentioned, they didn't meet during the regular season. And Ailana Agbayani with a 1-2 count here. This one foul down the left field line. So Agbayani seeing some good pitches, a good AB here for the 8-hole hitter.
You can see just the commitment to timing. She's got that pull side, long foul ball, then she fouls one off to the opposite side of the field. There's not a hole in this swing. 7 home runs on the year and 13 stolen bases.
And lines that one out to center field to end the inning, but an offensive explosion, something that Patty Gasso certainly very used to. We're going to talk about this earlier, Aaron, just when we discussed it with Patty Gasso, and certainly those swings were true. They were confident.
I think what you hear her talk about too is the maturity of this team. Even though there are some young faces you see getting some playing time here, there's no checkout, right? First time through the order, this offense getting 1 hit on the board, it would be easy to tuck your tail, right? On this stage, it would be easy to get discouraged, but no, not this team. And that is the maturity of this ball club, I think, that Coach is referring to.
Well, we saw that graphic there, Kendall Wells, who started off the home run party last inning with 38 homers on the season, second in the nation behind the all-time single-season leader in Megan Grant at UCLA. Her first at-bat of the day. The catcher getting hugs and love in the dugout from her teammates. Back to the top with Morgan Stiles. Stiles, who singled her first time up, flew out to left in her last AB. The sophomore out of Athens, Alabama. And if you're just tuning in, folks, you see some activity in that Oklahoma bullpen. We've seen that a couple of times now because Miley Wachenio, who started this game, didn't necessarily have her best stuff to start, right? And she didn't necessarily help her cause with a couple of errors in the circle as well. We saw last weekend, they only allowed 1 walk as a pitching staff. Here today, they've allowed 2. And Mississippi State hopeful for more opportunities that maybe they can take advantage of, because we've seen back in the second, back in the third, they left the bases loaded and the door was left open, but they couldn't push any run, more than 1 run across. Again, this Mississippi State team, their second super regional ever. They've gone to 2 in their last 5 years. And one of the most feared fields and programs they're going up against, trying to notch a win, which will be their first in super regional play. Sharply hit foul, as now the count draws full.
This is a seasoned bat at the plate, especially in postseason play. Ties Mississippi State's tournament record with 13 career hits. 13 for 25, hitting over 500 through postseason play.
And another walk right here, as we'll let you know about the journey to the Women's College World Series continues with the Super Regionals. It's Florida versus Texas Tech. And that'll be Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC, ESPN, and streaming also on the ESPN app. Well, we saw earlier Haley Toney, Lagi Quiroga, Mia Williams all knock in runs, and then the floodgates open for both teams. A 10-8 victory for the Red Raiders over the Gators. So they have the lead as Miley Wachenio will be Burzon coming in relief from Miley Wachenio after the start. Burzon just making her second appearance during postseason play, only pitched 1 1/3 inning. And what will they see from her this time around, there?
This is some velocity that, you know, it's not overpowering, but it moves. The vertical separation of that rise and the drop, very challenging to decipher.
First batter she faces is Greta Grassel. And Sydney Burzon, who is an All-SEC and All-American selection out of LSU. Comes over, and the grounder over to first base, and the force out at second as the play made by Isabella Emmerling.
A lot of communication, a lot of defensive coordination there to get that fielder's choice lead out at second base. You look at that play and you think, yeah, can of corn, it looks easy, but that's, you got to practice that a lot. Execute that play.
You know, that was part of the conversation, right? This is a Oklahoma team that took the early exit out of the SEC tournament in that quarterfinal loss to Georgia. They led by 5 runs, and then the Bulldogs come back and win it 10-5, and that was a wake-up call.
Big time.
Something that these players were not pleased with. You obviously heard the pressure from Patty Gasso after that. She wasn't happy with it, but it was the response that we heard from the team. And when we got a chance to talk with players yesterday, they love the fact to be able to get back out there and work, try to get better.
You know, in that press conference post-game after the loss to Georgia, you heard a Coach Gasso that said, I am about to work these young women at practice. And they confirmed that to us. Some of the hardest practices they had had all season, but they loved it. They responded to it. Coach Gasso describing it as one of those practice of do it again. I want you to rep it until you do it again and again and again. Ask for more. If it's not good enough, if you don't like it, ask ask for another rep with conviction. Own it.
Berzon to Barbary as Barbary sends it into center field. And out number 2 collected by Minor. And it was one of those things, we saw Abby Dayton, who is currently in left field. She was like, look, bring it on. Like, I want you to break us. Give that type of mentality. How important was that this group, they didn't fold, but instead it made them stronger?
That's it. It's all about the response. Back to the maturity conversation, right? It'd be so easy to pack up like a cheap tent, right? You lose that game to Georgia, you got to turn around, host a regional. Well, they ended up outscoring opponents 28-1 last weekend. A massive response from this team.
Zion Romero, who walked her last time up, grounded into that double play to end the first. Over to Gabby Garcia, the quick flip to Akbayani at second base, and that ends the inning. That storyline a little bit later, but Layla Amon, who came in relief for Alyssa Fairclough, is now going to try to steady the ship and kind of help slow things down for that OU lineup that just exploded last inning, putting up those 5 runs. So Sydney Barker, who leads it off, then we flip it back to the top with Kai Minor and Ella Parker all do up this inning.
I agree with Coach Ricketts and the ask right here for Amon just to hit the strike zone early. I think about the difference between that first inning and the third inning when OU exploded, 3 home runs, 5 runs on the board. It was the fact that Fairclough was just pitching from behind. And when you pitch from behind, you have to come over the meat of the plate against OU, and that's when you start to see balls flying out of the yard.
What's crazy is that you think about that 3-run home run inning, or 3 home run inning last inning. Oh, you did that last year in the Super Regional round. It was against Alabama, so another SEC foe.
Well, now they've made history. 5 of the starting 9 over 20 home runs. That's the first time in D1 history for a roster to have those types of numbers.
Can I say that I'm not surprised, because it feels like every season the OU hitters, the OU offense is breaking records, is making history.
It's like they pick a new record that they want to focus on. What offensive record can we break this year?
Time called from home plate umpire Mike Burwell.
Sydney Barker has been so important for this team, especially defensively, having to move over to third base with Nelly tearing that ACL.
And she goes down swinging as Sydney Barker is retired.
Big response here from Amon, right? Answering this call from Mississippi State. It's a drop ball that finds its way below the belt of Barker, way out in front of that pitch.
I love this inside the park, a little junior PA announcer. Woo! Hot shot to third base, and it's a 1-out base hit for Kai Minor. Her hot hitting continuing in regionals, now shifting over to supers.
And it's the hands of Kai Minor. Look at that. Like, there's not even a load in the lower body. She sees ball, she throws the hands in the barrel as fast as possible to contact. Such an impressive swing from this young lady. Hard to believe she's a freshman.
Yeah, and leading not only freshmen in all of Division I, but SEC and OU as well in batting average, top 3 in hits. You always talk about the speed on the base path, stolen bases as well. With 17. Ella Parker Sees that one way outside for ball one. Hit hard, but foul down the first base line. One of 3 matchups of SEC foes going head-to-head in this super regional round. LSU and the #1 overall seed Alabama in action later tonight. Right here on ESPN2 all day long. We've got you covered. Remember, Tennessee with a 1-0 lead over Georgia. Arkansas, who experienced a weather delay earlier, hosting Duke. And the bouncer over to Morgan Styles, couldn't handle it, and Kai Miter motors around to third. Runners at the corners now.
It's the second time we've seen Mississippi State's defense get eaten up by a tough hop. And now all of a sudden they've got to face this. Kendall Wells, the freshman, 38th home run of the year, Tiffany. It's always a matter of time, a ticking time bomb at the plate. Smoothest, most powerful swing on this team.
I was gonna say, guess who's up? It's Kendall Wells. She only had a home run last week, and that was her lone hit of the regional round. And then she's bust through with a single back in the first, and of course that 2-run homer, as you mentioned, that gave OU the lead in the third.
We did rule that swing from Ella Parker an error at shortstop. This is an interesting conversation we had with Coach Gasso about the race to the top, right? About the home run race between Megan Grant and Kendall Wells. Said it was a monkey on her back for a long time. She didn't want any part of the conversation.
And how challenging is that if you're coming in your freshman season, you just want to ball out, have a great time, contribute to wins, right? And all of the external forces coming your way about that home run chase. Wells drops this one in the left field. 84 RBI this season for Kendall Wells. Load up another run for the Sooners, now up 6-2.
Well, this is the race, right? NCAA single season record. Megan Grant, UCLA, 40 home runs on the year, 2 behind her, Kendall Wells, and they've been neck and neck all season long. This has been the stars, right? The 2 big bats. The difference, I think, too, that we can't not talk about is the fact that Kendall Wells is a freshman.
Yeah, no doubt. And they were chasing Lauren Espinoza, who did it decades ago at Arizona. So that was a chase that everyone was just tuned in on. And then Kendall sat at 37 for a while. Boom. Megan races past and currently has the lead, but now it only frees up Kendall to just keep playing free.
That was exactly the sentiment from Coach Gasso. It almost felt like an exhale for Kendall Wells when she saw Megan Grant kind of take the reins of the home run race right now, that, hey, great.
I'm going to ask you this question because Jocelyn Allo was NCAA's home run queen. You think about Lauren Chamberlain, who came through to do it before, but when you think about a player like Kendall Wells, you say a generational talent. That's the word that Patty Gasso used as well. What does that mean? How would you describe that? I'm putting you on the spot here, partner.
I do have an answer for that. I think it's, to me, what I think of when I look at Kendall Wells is the fact that we really won't be able to grasp the talent of this young woman until we probably look back and reflect on her career. We're in awe right now of what she's doing as a freshman in her first season at Oklahoma, and I am excited to see what the next 3 years have entailed for her. But truly, I don't know that we know right now what we have on our hands.
She gave kind of a warning, right, when she broke the SEC home run record. Mia Davidson, the home run queen, who used to play for Mississippi State, was a part of that number. So she, boom, hits that. And then the NCAA single season record for a freshman. Did that against Texas back in April. And then the OU record, she was able to surpass as well, of 35 that was previously held by Jocelyn Allo, as Gabby Garcia goes down swinging. Amen with her first or second strikeout of the game.
Nice response too from Amen. I think she's doing a nice job of carving up the corners. And you know, I had asked this in the mid-game interview with Coach Ricketts of what is the challenge here for Amen, and it's one, keeping the ball in the yard, but two, getting ahead early. You do have to manage the strike zone and stay aggressive, even against a team like Oklahoma.
Styles able to handle this one cleanly this time, and that ends the inning. A couple of runners left aboard, tacking on a little extra insurance. It's 6-2 OU as we head to the fifth. Pulled it down Georgia in game one, and Carlin Pickens, who had a complete game effort. We saw and yet another outing with 10 or more strikeouts in an NCAA tournament game, as the first batter, Kiara Sells, retired for the Bulldogs. But just Carlin Pickens and the story that she has been, it's been fun to watch her throughout her career.
Setting a record with speed of 79 miles an hour, chasing that 80-mile-an-hour mark. How about the importance of the home run too at that side? All runs scored yesterday were off the long ball.
Morgan Bernardini, the pinch hitter, coming in. Another one of those players for Samantha Ricketts, who, again, just took limited at-bats earlier in the season and then just has continuously been infused into the lineup this year.
Had a breakout season last year. Those starts, first 2 years of her career, but have earned her opportunities.
And the first pitch hitting opportunity for Bernardini this season. Out of Elkville, Illinois. And the senior awaits the pitch. That one low from Burzon, ball two. Talked about Mississippi State, one of the 3 unseeded teams coming into the super regional round. UCF, who takes on UCLA later tonight. Is another one of them, as that one sneaks through, and the pinch hit single for Morgan Bernardini.
That's exactly the approach you have to take against the drop off. Burzon low in the zone. You can't be early. You have to see this ball late in the count, in the stance. She hits that one almost off the back knee, right between that 3-4 hole.
First hit allowed for Sydney Burzon since coming in relief. And that one, great glove from Gabby Garcia. We talked about just how amazing she is as a defender, and the special talent showing off right there.
Again, makes it look so easy. Defensively for Gabby Garcia, covers so much ground at shortstop, goes up that 5-6 hole and still gets the lead out at second base.
Strike one to Paige Ernstez.
Just a true athlete at shortstop for Garcia. Threw javelin in high school, probably could have played at the collegiate level.
Mom, who was Hall of Famer at Arizona State. And how about the middle infield taking care of business as Agbayani collects it. A 9-pitch inning for Berzon and the Sooners. It's in the most recent draft this year. And I'll tell you, you mentioned just the accolades for Agbayani, right? Rawlings Gold Glove winner at second base, all defensive team. And she certainly makes play after play just look easy. But we couldn't help but notice Patty Gasso, who loves defense, right? Kind of gush over what Agbayani has done.
She definitely doted on her girl.
Yeah.
I mean, just the detail-oriented nature of this young woman. She cares about her craft, hardworking, just very committed to what it takes to be great.
A player who just plays mistake-free softball. You see there having a quick chat with JT Gasso, the associate head coaches, as Cassidy Pickering goes down swinging.
3 Ks for Amon. This one up in the zone. We saw Cassidy Pickering take almost that exact same pitch yard earlier this game. So to challenge her again upstairs, gets her to swing up and under that pitch.
In last-minute notes that Agbayani was getting from JT Gasso as she's standing on deck with Abby Dayton now at the plate. Again, you just think about the successfulness of these batters, and due in large part to JT Gasso and just his preparation and the way that he has each batter prepared for whatever.
10th season at Oklahoma, 2nd as an associate head coach. And in his 10 years at OU, this is an offense that has averaged 7.7 runs per game under his oversight. Very one-on-one individual nature with his coaching style. Talked quite a bit with Abby Dayton about his style and the fact that there really isn't a overarching approach. He's very committed to the way each player's body moves, the kinetic sequence, the unlocking of power.
And obviously, the proof is in the pudding, right? The way that Abby Dayton has flourished under his tutelage. And there, bringing on cue, a one-out base hit for Abby Dayton.
And Abby Dayton's actually played for all of the Gassos.
Yeah.
Played for DJ Gasso back when he was at Utah, playing a couple seasons there, back to their first ever trip to the Women's College World Series, and then finding her way over to Oklahoma. She said there's definitely a common thread between all of the Gassos, very competitive family.
I love that she provides a perspective that no one else has, like you said, on this team. JT, you talked about just how he is with the details, right? And that's what Abby mentioned. She loved the way that, you know, he helped to just look at all the little minute particular things in practice that help it make it easier in game. She said, but you know what, DJ prepared me too. Got to give him some love. And then you can speak on this from experience as well. And we were like, okay, so what's Coach Patty Gasso like? She said, oh my goodness, she's super competitive, but really a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. you know, I think too, like, you know, I played for her, but for you as my partner up here in the booth, you get to see an interesting perspective of her too, right? Because you see so much of her on television, but you had the ability to sit down and get to know her on a personal level this weekend. Yeah,
what I think is so cool, right? Because you can draw a perception from someone if you just watch them on TV. But I call old Patty my homegirl, okay? We bond over many things. You see what I'm saying? And what
Dayton,
a pick from behind the plate as Revere getting Dayton at first base to end the hardcore fan that has remained committed, made the trek from Seattle to Norman, and like, he's a big deal on social media. They even have the broccoli in the dugout. They advanced from the unicorn, right, to the broccoli, and Ali Supin, who is the leader of that dugout for the Bulldogs, really helped to keep this new tradition alive. Even broccoli shirt, as Des Rivera starts off the inning with a roller down the third baseline. And it goes into the corner in left field. So after that great pick play to end the inning, now she gets a stand-up double.
I mean, that's how you take momentum and run with it. You get out of the inning defensively with your great arm behind the plate, then you come up and smack one by Sydney Barker at third base. Deep corner of the field, and finds her way at second. There's still fight. I mean, that is what I love about State, is the fact that they continue to apply pressure offensively. And two, against an arm like Burzon that's going to challenge you low in the zone as well. You're going to be forced to put the ball on the ground, do it hard. That's exactly what Rivera does early.
Back to the top of the order with Morgan Stiles. 1 ball and 1 strike to Stiles. I mean, two, then, do you feed off of the energy of the broccoli guy, Jim?
I gotta say, broccoli guy has been out here since an hour and a half before this ball game started, and he's danced the entire time. It's the first time I think I've seen him take a break.
Yeah, well, you know, it was really nice weather in Eugene, right? A little different scenario here in Norman, but chumming it up with the crowd. I mean, he's got plenty of fans coming his way. We expect to see him out here tomorrow and wearing a Mississippi State shirt tomorrow, as he's been gifted one. And this is just a glimpse into what Broccoli guy is doing here in Norman. I mean, he's drawing in the fans.
Yeah, he's got a following, that is for sure.
I want you to try to move like Broccoli guy Jim, 8 months pregnant, for an entire inning. We should capture that and do side-by-side comparison.
You know what? Don't test me with the good time, girlfriend. You know I'll take you up on that bet.
Shout out to Jim Stewart Allen. Really big baseball fan, follows the Seattle Mariners, been doing it since 2016. And the fact that it's just caught on so quickly. I think they bought like 30 or 40 pounds
40 pounds of broccoli.
Broccoli?
Yeah, they it actually was Paige Gould's dad. She called her dad and said, look, I need you to go find some heads of broccoli. And 40 pounds of broccoli later, the dugout was full of broccoli. And we still have got broccoli in the dugout.
Still broccoli. High in, you know, fiber, vitamin C,
yeah,
you know, something like that. Pinch hitter up for Mississippi State, Abby Grace Richardson, the senior out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. And this one dribbles through the middle. And Rivera now 60 feet from home as the pinch hit, base hit for Richardson. I love it, just the dig in, right? And then I know that there was Nadia Barbary's family. You know, you've got Broccoli guy Jim, Nadia Barbary's family. Dad comes through with the fedora hat. There are all kinds of props and just whatever. We thank both Irving and Shannon for their service, having served in the Air Force.
Speaking of props, I feel like you gotta give some props right now to Mississippi State offense. It hasn't been super sexy, but 2 base hits right now that puts runners on the corners in the meat of this order. Against a Barbary bat, a senior bat, 330 on the year, 14 home runs. I mean, they have a big situation here for her to come up in a big way.
And she's the RBI leader. She's top 10 in her career in home runs and RBIs in a Mississippi State uniform. And you asked her too just about her commitment to stay with this program and how important it was for her to play at Mississippi State.
Yeah, committed freshman year of high school and has bared witness, right, to the growth of this program, what it's like playing under head coach Sam Ricketts. Been a huge reason why she stayed.
And there are a lot of players who are celebrated, but that's a story that you love to hear. Understanding Sam Ricketts, the Samoan background, core family at the heart of the culture for Mississippi State. Someone who is just committed to bringing the best out of her student athletes. And Barbary has certainly benefited from that. 3 career home runs in the NCAA tournament, only trailing Mia Davidson. Just 1 out, 2 aboard for Zion Romero. Pitch outside to Romero, now 2-1.
And this is a key count. We talked about the first pitch and the third pitch. Well, that third pitch not falling in Berzon's favor. Now a hitter's count for the 4-hole for State. And that was it, right? Where else are you looking if you're not looking there?
Yeah. And goes down swinging. Berzon records the 2nd out of the inning on that K.
It's a big response. Look at how the bottom of that ball falls out of the strike zone. Starts at the front knee, falls almost to the back ankle. For me, Romero not swinging at that 2nd strike. It was just right over the heart of the strike zone.
First strikeout for Sydney Berzon since coming in relief for Miley Wachenio. Kira Sells now at the plate, one of the seniors for this Bulldog team. And that one getting past Wells, so the runners advance on the wild pitch.
Wells get crossed up behind the plate a few times, typically a brick wall. Balls that have challenged her low in the dirt. She hasn't been able to keep that ball in front of her. You can see she's set up, has to flip the glove over at the bottom half of that strike zone. Gives up 60 feet.
Richardson at 3rd, Barbary at 2nd, both in scoring position. Sells sees that one in for strike number 2.
That's a conversion count that falls in the favor of Berzon. 1-1 count, now she's in control with 2 strikes.
The pitch, and that one pulled. Parker couldn't handle it, and a run scores. So continuing to chip away at this lead. You talked about it here in the top of the 6th inning, as now within 2 runs of OU.
OU's been tested defensively. The wild pitch behind the plate for Wells allows Mississippi State to grab 60 feet, and then the miscue from Barker, who has been tested at 3rd base. We have seen at least 4 hot shots to that side of the field, just past her at 3rd. But it's that combination of the wild pitch and and the miscue at third base. A very challenging day defensively for the Sooners.
We saw a couple of errors earlier in this game with pitcher to start, Miley Wachenio, and now Sydney Barker not able to handle that one. Not sure how it's going to be scored in the meantime. A pitching change with the sophomore, Andre Lowry, now stepping in for the Sooners. The Indiana native who picked up a couple of starts last weekend, got the win against Michigan in that regional round. And OU's win leader.
When talking to Lowry, Tiffany, we had asked her about, what has to happen in order for this pitching staff to be successful. She specifically said we have to feed our defense. We have to limit the free passes. We've got to keep the ball in the yard, and we have to feed the defense. And they've done 2 of those things. Well, really, they've done 3. They've kept the ball in the yard. They've given up a few free passes. They've only given up 1 home run. But it's in feeding the defense that the defense hasn't had their back. So far, 3 errors for Oklahoma defensively. That is very rare for this Sooner team. And now Mississippi State cutting this deficit down to only 2 runs.
Well, she enters the ball game with runners at first and third and 2 out here, and trying to hold tight to this 2-run lead.
Still waiting to see how that hit at third base is going to be chalked up. Personally, I think that's a play that Sydney Barker has to make at third base. That would be a play she would tell you that she needs to make, and they are going to rule it an error.
This ties a season high in a game with 3 errors. You go back to March 23rd, earlier this year against Ole Miss was the last time they committed 3 errors in a game. Morgan Bernardini, who had that pinch hit single last inning, that one getting past Wells, and just like that, the Bulldogs are within a run.
This ball has to be caught. Kendall Wells just has to be a brick wall. We've already seen one get by her, a wild pitch that allowed for 60 feet, this time giving up a run.
And here it is, the shot up the middle. Bernardini with the second hit of a tie ball game. Bernardini ties it up with a base hit. Wow.
I've already said it, I'm going to say it again. It is the steady, consistent pressure from Mississippi State that I am so impressed with. It's not flashy, it's not big, but it is consistent and it is fundamental. Fundamental swings, managing at bats. This is a very compact, straight to compact cut from Bernardini, and it gets the job done. We've got a tie ball game, folks.
If you're just tuning in, it was Mississippi State that scored in the top of the 3rd inning, and then OU unloaded with 5 runs in the bottom half of the inning. 3 home runs in that inning alone. They tacked on some insurance the next inning, but Mississippi State has continued to claw its way back, fight its way back to remain in this game. And when we talked with Sam Ricketts, she told us, look, our team has nothing to lose.
Nothing.
Right? Everybody knows that the pressure is on Oklahoma. 8 national championships, the 3 seed in this year's tournament. So we're just going to go out there, play, and have fun. And the way that they have responded has been exactly what Ricketts has hoped. Abigail Stevens gets underneath that one, sends it flying into left field, and that ends the inning. But not before 2015 when they fell to Alabama, the last time they've lost in supers.
Who played in that game? Oh, yeah.
Oh, your
Me.
homegirl. Yeah, yeah.
Me.
You know,
That was,
it's tough to bring up, but I mean, you can give the audience
I was
firsthand
about to say,
experience
that
about what it
was
was like.
an epic win for Alabama. Marissa Runyon, 0 for 16 with bases loaded, had the grand slam, the go-ahead.
And you told me they called her what after that?
Home Runyon.
Okay. Yeah. Now Patrick Murphy, who remains the head coach of Alabama, the #1 overall seed in the field. For the second time in program history, they will face off against LSU later tonight. We're also seeing Texas in action, the #2 seed, SEC tournament champions who downed Alabama earlier this month. And it looked like an object came onto the field in right, so that's why you see the delay. And Sydney Barker stands in. Barker, who smacks it through the middle for a base hit. Well, Monday, catch some afternoon Major League Baseball on ESPN. The Yankees head to Kansas City to take on the Royals. First pitch at 3:30 Eastern. You can catch it live on ESPN, and you can also watch the game streaming on the ESPN app.
Sydney Barker helping herself out after getting challenged at third base. Works her way on and turns this lineup over to Kai Minor.
Minor, who has reached base safely each time at the plate so far today. Single her last time up, a walk, and reached on an error as well. She scored 2 runs already today.
There's a quickness, not just with the speed of the legs of this young woman, but the quickness of the hands. Kind of an unconventional swing, really not a large lower body load. She's almost static in the box and then immediately throws the barrel to the ball. There's been a big focus just in talking offense with this team from Associate head coach JT Gasso about hip turn. Getting the hips through the zone, a quick lower body unload through contact. I don't know that anybody has a quicker turn than Kai Minor.
A player who just consistently has produced for OU this season. She had 13 hits in her last 8 games coming into today and unloads on this one into center field, and a great snag by Tatum Silva, who was all the way to the wall of the warning track. And that one stays in the park for Silva to collect the first out of the inning.
And Silva moving into center field. She was playing in left and having to quickly get tested. Look at where she's playing. She's playing in and shaded to left field. And a really nice run to the wall. Eamon very happy about that grab.
Now Ella Parker, but big ups to Tatum Silva for making that play. And the Bulldogs, who fought their way back in this one to tie it up at 6-all. In the top half, here's Ella Parker now, 0 for 2 today. Little check swing, and it goes foul. The only home loss for Oklahoma this season was back on April 18th. That was against Arkansas. Outside of that, they have loved Love's Field. Of course, Arkansas and Duke in action. That play set to resume at 5 p.m. Eastern. And we have seen weather impact the Nebraska site, as Oklahoma State and Nebraska saw game 1 suspended because of weather. They're due to resume game 1 today at 5 p.m. as that one gets up the middle, and the hot shot from Ella Parker, her first base hit of the afternoon.
Compact, more fundamental approach here from Oklahoma. A couple base hits. To get something going here with less than 2 outs on the board, and now we are entering in to the meat of this order. Kendall Wells, homer back in the 3rd.
And sensing that this could be a critical time, Taryn McKinney comes to the circle. Just have a conversation. Excellent pitcher. In her days at Arizona, winning a couple of national championships. Remember her team when she was the head coach of her alma mater. Bounced Mississippi State in their first ever regional appearance, super regional appearance. And now she has been on staff, and Sam Ricketts knows the value that she brings, having to manage 7 different arms on this staff. And the beauty of that is being able to go to multiple arms that she can call on and trust. And Paige Gould is obviously one of them.
You know, I think it's important to remind our viewers at home that this is a very 50-50 team. There's 13 returners, there's 12 newcomers, and a lot of those newcomers coming in the circle. One of those being Paige Gould as she steps in. Layla Amon, who stepped out, was also a Middle Tennessee transfer coming into Mississippi State, as well as Faircloth, who started this game at Troy transfer. And so now it's Paige Gould, low 60s, coming over from Chattanooga, mid-major school, and has had to really adjust pitching in the SEC. This is what you're going to see from this arm, a elite curveball. You see how she cups that ball right at the hip. Late movement, slices through the strike zone, and forces you to be on time at the knees. A really interesting conversation with her yesterday about that transition from the mid-major to Mississippi State, and said, look, I have had to learn that even when I pitch my best at this level, sometimes you can still lose. It's that good. It is that tough. These offenses have really challenged her in the circle.
Well, she referenced that during a series against Florida earlier in the year. Thought that she had pitched well, and just, hey, one swing can change the trajectory of a game. But you go back to last weekend, 9 strikeouts and 6 in the 3rd inning against St. Mary's out of California, and she's had some really nice moments throughout. Team high in starts, also knowing that she's going to try to come in relief for Layla Amon, who did a nice job bridging this game from the start of Faircloth to Amon and now Gould. First Bulldog pitcher to be named an All-American by any outlet since 2002. You saw that promo earlier about an AUSL ticket punch. Well, she earned one as well on Senior Day. And she faces off against Kendall Wells, who blasted into center field, her 2nd home run of the game. This time, a 3-run bomb.
Talk about doing your homework. I mean, this freshman saw one pitch. look at where this is on the outer half of the plate, and knew it immediately. The energy, the celebration. I mean, there is just a maturity to this young woman, an unapologetic confidence, a freedom, Tiffany, at the plate that you feel from Kendall Wells.
A career high, 4 hits in this game, 2 of them coming by way of home runs. And Kendall Wells once again allowing OU to take the lead again. I gotta say this, if you're Peja Gold, you're coming in, there's nothing more deflating than that right there.
She's 1 home run away from standing next to Megan Grant at 40 home runs this season. Wow.
Yeah. And now Gabby Garcia stands in with a 2-ball, 1 strike. And Kendall Wells is just one of those players who just knows how to get this crowd going. Even before they made the pitching change, everyone inside Love's Field just had a different energy about them, right? Like, you just felt this place, the atmosphere shift when Kendall Wells came to the plate. And it's been like that all season long. You talked about the 39 home runs on the year, and just an excellent teammate as well.
And you can see here the immediate exchange of information. She's talking about that cup release, tight movement late in the zone. I mean, 1 pitch. She saw 1 pitch out of the hand of Gold and already transferring information to the rest of her team. And a freshman, I just got to keep reminding people that, again, what we're witnessing is someone that is playing at the collegiate level for the very first time. She has never played in a regional. She's never played in a super regional, and this is what we're seeing in her first season.
And I think that's why she continues to leave people in awe when you watch her. I mean, when you think about stars of the game, yes, there are many far and wide, but Kendall Wells has certainly grabbed the spotlight of her own. It is one of those players that you just tune in to watch. Well, Desiree Rivera behind the plate for Mississippi State, and the catcher shaken up right here. Is Macy Simoneau and Coach Ricketts out to check on their senior catcher.
A little bit slow to throw back to Peja Gold. You could actually see Peja ask for time because she sees the delay from Rivera behind the plate. I don't know if this is hamstring or ankle. You can see the wince behind the plate. Man, these catchers just take a beating back there.
So Rivera standing to her feet, just trying to get settled back in as she's ready to go. And so Desiree Rivera from Chino, California, came over from Iowa. Is good to go, and play resumes, and a strike immediately into the glove of Rivera. Now 1-2 to Isabella Emmerling. Interesting sequence here.
And third base has been getting hammered all day. This one looks like it bounces off maybe the front of the bag or takes an awkward hop in front of Barber at third. And Gabby Garcia getting caught between second and third in the rundown. Tagged out, and still an opportunity here for Oklahoma with Pickering at the plate.
And bringing in a pinch runner is Tia Malloy comes in for Emmerling. Malloy, the sophomore, out of the state of Washington. Remember, her sister Kiki was an All-American at Tennessee.
Emmerling making it a point to run up to Cassidy Pickering again to exchange that information. You mentioned, and you saw Coach Gasso talking to us about that in the mid-game interview about, hey, this team, even though we got one hit in the first inning, we are talking hitting. We are exchanging information to make sure that we're going to ace this test at the plate.
Well, critical part of the exam here, as they have certainly found a way to respond each time. 5-run third inning was huge, and now answering Mississippi State's 4-run in the top half of the inning with 3 of their own to regain the lead. Aaron Miller, Tiffany Green here with you from Norman, Oklahoma, the Super Regional Round, Game 1 of the best-of-3 series. The winner of this series will go on to Oklahoma City and punch their ticket to the World Series. 16th consecutive Super Regional for Oklahoma, as Pickering is aboard with a walk.
This is what makes a 3-game series so interesting too, Tiffany, is the fact that now both of these offenses have seen 3 arms from the staff of both Mississippi State and Oklahoma. You've got information, right? You have info, you have scouting now, you have experience of facing these arms with game time reps. How then do you bring something different the second time you face them?
Until we hear it, no matter where you are in a postseason series, whether it's regionals or supers, you know, the importance of winning game 1, right? 79% of the teams that win game 1 win the series. That clips Abby Dayton to load the bases here, with Akbayani coming up to the bat.
Well, managing the strike zone was something that Peja Gold talked to us as an importance. In her outing against Oklahoma, she was going to have to be particular about location and execution of pitches, and it has posed to be a challenge for her first time through this order.
And right now, Terry Moen McKinney once again having a conversation. 7 straight balls thrown by Peja Gould, and just trying her best to find the rhythm, unable to do so, and so we're going to have a pitching change quickly here as things escalating once more as Delaney Everett will now get the ball. We'll tell you more about it when we come back. Well, thanks so much, and welcome back here to Norman. The junior Delaney Everett out of Oakdale, California, the 4th different arm that we've seen in the circle for the Bulldogs.
I think that's something you got to talk about, is showing your cards, which has been an area for Mississippi State that they've had to really focus on, is pitching this year. They knew they had to reload the pitching staff. 7 deep arms in that bullpen, and they've already shown 4 of those cards here in game 1.
Ilana Agbayani up to bat, the only OU starter without a hit in this game. Perhaps she's due here with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th. The lefty turns it over to second base, and that ends the inning. But not before it's Kendall Wells once more advance out of the Super Regional round. And it's Mississippi State with their final chance here. Top 7 And Paige Ernstez will lead it off here. Sam Ricketts, former OU softball player, wanting to see if her team can mount a comeback. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB.TV.
Tip, we've just seen a steady dose of hitting. I mean, there hasn't been an inning yet for Mississippi State where they haven't scratched a hit on the board. There's one thing that you walk away with from today watching Mississippi State, it's the fact that they apply consistent pressure.
The fourth time in this game that the leadoff batter is aboard. 11 hits in total for the Bulldogs. And remember, last weekend, this was an OU pitching staff that only allowed 1 run through 3 games. And today, they've given up 6. But the most important stat, they still have a 3-run lead as Des Rivera at the plate. Remember, she doubled her last time up, had that solo shot back in the 4th to try to author a comeback. They were able to tie it in the 6th, and there another base hit as that one goes through the right side. The oppo single for Des Rivera. And you said it before, nothing sexy,
no,
nothing over the top, but just steady and consistent for this Mississippi State lineup of hitters.
Fundamental. This is the 3rd inning where they've had 2 or more hits. And it's this, I think, the mentality of just like pass the bat. Don't be the last out. Continue to put together hard swings on the ball. That one just foul past Emerling. It's not like this team doesn't have pop. They've got power. Couple in the starting lineup that have 14 home runs. I mean, they definitely can get the ball out of the yard, but this is a team that has to stick to fundamental offense. I'd asked Nadia Barbary about the definition of production for this team offensively, and she gave me one word. She said, we are gritty. We are gritty. We are tough. Back against the wall. We are not scared to fight. We've seen it here in game 1.
Absolutely, as that one lined out to Agbayani. Thought she may have had a play at first, but able to slide back there is Rivera, and 1 down.
Thought for a second there, Rivera was gonna get picked off. Look how far she is off first base, and shocked that Agbayani didn't at least attempt the throw.
Abby Grace Richardson takes that first pitch in for a strike. Now 1 ball and 1 strike to Richardson. Remember, she was pivotal in coming up with that 1-out base hit last inning to start the rally for the Bulldogs.
There's another conversion pitch. You know, 2 categories Oklahoma's tracking in the circle is 1st and 3rd pitches of the count. That one falling in favor to Richardson, and now a hitter's count for her to step into.
Good piece of hitting there as that one goes to the wall, a gapper, and scoring a run, the RBI double from Abby Grace Richardson.
This is the importance of that conversion count, Tiffany. I mean, the fact that that pitch just before was a ball, now all of a sudden Lowry has to come into the kitchen of Richardson, and this is just too sweet over the strike zone. She hits this in the left field gap. Quiet production, but steady production. It's the name of the game right now for the Bulldogs.
And we have seen a number of trips to the circle for each of these teams. And associate head coach and pitching coach Jen Rocha once more gathering all. You see Mississippi State 1 for 15 when trailing, and Oklahoma has been perfect when leading after the 6th inning. So Jen Rocha just trying to remind Lowry, hey, 2 outs away from ending this one and potentially picking up the game 1 win. If she can retire the next 2. The full day of softball continues after this one. We'll head to Knoxville with Tennessee and Georgia already currently in action. And Tennessee trying to make another trip to the Women's College World Series. They are 1 win away from punching their ticket. Meanwhile, if you're Mississippi State, this is the batter that you want at the plate, and Nadia Barbary, because she is your RBI leader, and it looks like they're going to intentionally walk her, understanding her level of production throughout this season for this Mississippi State squad. So they're going to elect to load the bases and take their chances with Zion Romero to try to see if she can bounce into another double play. Remember, she did it back in the 1st inning to end the inning. And Romero coming up to see if she can turn the luck for this Mississippi State program, who is 0 for 21 all time when trailing by 4 runs or more in a tournament game. You go back again, they were trailing by 4 just last inning and evened it up, and now Zion Romero stands in, takes strike 1. And this is a group that had their chances early. Bases loaded back in the 2nd and 3rd innings. They were able to push across their 1st run in the 3rd. So they have had their chances, and that's something that no matter the outcome, you've got to feel good about. You're able to notch 13 hits, see the ball well, and face 4 different arms.
This, too, is a situation where base running becomes so important. Mississippi State needing to make good decisions with bases loaded.
It all started with Paige Ernstez to lead off with a single. Des Rivera, another single. And this one gets past into right field, and driving home the run is Zion Romero. Zion Romero now has Mississippi State 1 run closer, still bases loaded, and 1 out.
This feels just like a game of pepper right now for Mississippi State. These aren't big swings, but they are crucial swings. Again, it's seeing the ball deep into the stands. This is a squad that has not been scared to go opposite field. They are on time, they are fundamental, and they are applying pressure to Oklahoma, which frankly has struggled defensively today. 3 errors for OU's defense. And Mississippi State has taken advantage of the miscues.
Just a reminder, Mississippi State in search of their first win in Super Regional play in program history. Meanwhile, Oklahoma, who has won 32 straight during the NCAA tournament at home, that streak is on the line. And you have to go back and remember, it wasn't that long ago in the SEC quarterfinals where Oklahoma had a 5-run lead and Georgia came back to win that one, to provide an early exit for the Sooners. And that timely base hit for Romero, her first of the game, now sets up Kiera Sells, who is looking for her first base hit of the afternoon. 0 for 4, and well out in front of that one. Count now 1-1.
This is back to one of those conversion counts. The second pitch she gets. Now it comes to that third pitch. It's been a pivotal pitch for this pitching staff in order to take control of counts.
Sells once again couldn't time that one up. And now 1-2, the count in favor of Audrey Lowry. Sells awaits the pitch, that one low, blocked by Wells behind the plate. Sophomore pitcher standing back in, dealing from the left side. The 2-2 pitch on the way. And well out in front and records the strikeout. Huge K there for Audrey Lowry, her first of the afternoon.
Big time strikeout for the sophomore. Upstairs, we saw the drop ball. We saw that Sells was way out in front, low at the knees, and then Lowry changing the eye line up above the letters for the swing through in the K.
Remember, it was Bernardini's swing the last inning that tied the ball game up at 6. She has done a nice job since coming in to pinch hit and then holding real estate in the outfield for the Bulldogs. Bernardini 2 for 2 this afternoon, does not go around. Ball on the strike.
Came in as a pinch hitter in the 5th and has since gone 2 for 2.
Pulls that one foul down the left field line.
What is the timing issue right now? We saw Sells early on 2 swings. Bernardini now way out in front of that pitch. And Lowry in control of this count with the ball and 2 strikes.
Mississippi State down to their final strike. 2 outs, bases loaded. Morgan Bernardini sees that one low for ball 2. Audrey Lowry trying to end this game, give OU a win. Her pitch coming up now inside for ball 3. So now the count draws full here to Morgan Bernardini. And again, it's worth reminding you that Bernardini is one of those bats that just had 13 ABs coming into this season. She's taken full advantage, developed into a key role for this squad, and then pulls this one foul over a jumping Sydney Barker at third.
Still ahead. From a timing perspective, way out in front of this pitch. They have not been able to time up the hand of Audrey Lowry.
Another payoff on the way. Inside and walking home a run to tie the ball game. A great AB from Morgan Bernardini.
I know you hear the stands. Look at this location. This is a curveball up and in under the hands. Wow, very, very close call.
Yeah. And gutsy for her to stand in and take that pitch. If you're a pitcher or a pitching coach around the country, you're looking to yourself, man, they've got a tough job there in the circle just because we have not seen the most forgiving strike zone throughout this NCAA tournament. And now Tatum Silva with a chance to go ahead for the Bulldogs. Charging in is Agbayani, and the throw off the mark, and 2 runs come across, and Mississippi State grabs the lead. You've talked about it all game long, the defensive errors and miscues for Oklahoma, and coming back to bite them here in the top of the 7th.
I mean, the ask for the pitching staff was to feed the defense this weekend, and they've done it. They have fed the infield play after play after play, and the defense just has not been able to execute. This is very uncharacteristic for Oklahoma, but also you have to give props where they're due. This has been a Mississippi State team that has applied pressure. They have forced Oklahoma to make plays, and they haven't been able to do it this game.
A season high 4 errors for the Sooners defense. Agbayani, who's usually sure-handed, couldn't get that one in time. So now they've hit around in the order, and back to Paige Ernstez, who started off this inning with a leadoff single. And we were a part of one of those major comebacks and turnarounds last weekend in Texas Tech, doing something that was improbable. And now you've got Mississippi State on the verge of handing Oklahoma potentially their first loss in super regional play since 2015.
Wells wanting that pitch call. She popped down the back of that catcher's pocket, wanting the punch out.
The 2-2 to Ernstez. The dribbler back to Lowry, and the play made to first, but now it's OU's turn. Most runs that they have allowed this season, a 11-9 advantage for Mississippi State. The Sooners with their last chance when we return. 9-1 and 2 due up, so Sydney Barker will lead it off with Kai Miner on deck.
It's at the importance of game 1, right? 79% of the time, game 1 winners advance. And it is crucial, getting game 1 in the back pocket, taking that confidence into day 2.
And really, this is unfamiliar territory as Oklahoma finds themselves trailing here, allowing the most runs they've allowed this season, the most hits given up this season. And Mississippi State has come here thus far and played loose and free and executing up until this point. As that one coming in high and tight to Sydney Barker. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Now facing the lefty with Everett in the circle, who can hum it up to 70 miles an hour. I mean, that was some high heat to Barker.
You gotta love this game 1 drama in the Super Regional from Norman. In a host of games being played throughout this weekend, all with sights set on Devon Park in Oklahoma City in a Women's College World Series appearance. Sydney Barker lifts this one into right field. Underneath it is Sells, and she collects the first out of the inning. So now down to their final 2 outs with Kai Miner back at the plate. And in there for a strike is, again, OU has won the last 15 super regional openers to speak to their dominance. The last loss coming against Arizona in 2008. And Kai Minor currently behind in the count 1-1. The pitch from Everett.
Going back to Sydney Barker, who led off this inning, the importance of that out for Everett. Instead of having somebody on turning this lineup over, which is exactly what we saw unfold in the 6th inning. The 3-run shot from Kendall Wells. The importance of getting that first out for Delaney Everett, massive.
Minor fouls that one off once again. Nice catch made on the left field line by a fan. Nice spot, got to give it back, but certainly didn't even have to move much. Stayed seated and all. And Minor, the opposite field single into left. And Minor with her second single of the game, so now she's aboard. And Ella Parker coming to the plate.
Battling with 2 strikes. Short, quick hands to the ball, which is such power and pop in this freshman bat.
We talked about her being an NFCA top 3 finalist for National Freshman of the Year. She's standing on first. Her teammate Kendall Wells on deck. Here's the other in that top 3. Already with 2 home runs in this game along, both go-ahead bombs for the Sooners. But first, Delaney Everett has to deal with Ella Parker, who, as we mentioned, she's one of 5 different starters for OU with 20 or more home runs. And the patience in this at-bat for Ella Parker gives her a 3-ball, no-strike advantage. Taking all the way, and now 3-1.
Still got to be something she can handle. For Everett, who struggled at the corners. So I don't want to give up another free pass. Yeah, that is a nice location. Comes back in under the hands of Ella Parker. I mean, fearless to challenge that part of the strike zone in a 3-1 count.
The game tying with 1 swing. Or can Everett retire? That was a very close pitch for ball 4, nearly exactly. And Delaney Everett can't believe it. She also can't believe what she saw earlier today. Home run 38 and 39 for the tremendous freshman Kendall Wells. She represents the game-winning run at the plate.
The fact that Everett didn't get that punch out now makes this at-bat even more daunting, Tiffany. The fact that, 1 swing, I mean, that is the power of Kendall Wells, as she can change the game in a single cut, and now 2 on for Kendall Wells.
A decision here, what do you elect to do? Do you intentionally walk her, load the bases? or do you pitch to her?
That's the thing, is behind Kendall Wells is Gabby Garcia, 22 home runs. There is protection all around this bat of Kendall Wells. 2 of the home runs she's had tonight have been the go-ahead, and she's got an opportunity to do it here, which would end the ballgame.
I don't know if I'm taking my chances. One swing, she has the opportunity to tie Megan Grant for the most home runs in the nation. Currently just 1 shy with 39. That ball low. 1-0 to the SEC Freshman of the Year, Kendall Wells of Bogart, Georgia. And this one, handcuffed her, gets underneath it, and a huge out here for Delaney Everett and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. After a perfect 4-for-4 performance to that point for Kendall Wells.
Ice in the veins for Everett. My goodness. I mean, just the fact that they decide to go after, especially the fact that Everett didn't get that call against Ella Parker. It could have been so easy for her to shut down after that walk, and instead she hammers the strike zone against Kendall Wells.
And could it be the second weekend partner that we see an incredible comeback? The largest this season for Mississippi State. Only 9 teams have been successful when trailing by 4 or more runs. Late in this game, and Gabby Garcia swing and a miss. Look at this, in Super Regional history, just 9 teams have been successful by trailing, or when trailing by 4 or more runs since the Super Regional new format back in 2025. And Gabby Garcia takes another hack at it, swing and a miss, now 1-2.
Massive swings from Gabby. She's got one thing on her mind right now.
And so does Delaney Everett to end this game. That one low in the dirt. Two on, 2 out. A 2-2 count to Gabby Garcia. And got her striking out. Delaney Everett and Mississippi State winning their first ever Super Regional win. What a moment for the Bulldogs. As we take a look at the Capital One